Very good afternoon to you. Welcome back to Rearguard Wrexham. I hope I find you well. Hope you've had a good weekend so far. Well, I've just spent too long attacking the hedge, so it's time to come in, have a bit of a cool down, and we thought we'll throw a bit of a video together. We'll go over the week's occurrences, and I'll hit you with the first episode, if you like, of Wrexham AFC and Me. So this is the week so the lads rock up down under in Australia, play the first game at Melbourne. Nice little 3-0 victory. Tom O'Connor scoring the first Wrexham goal in Australia. Ryan Hardy getting off the mark. Good, all good to see. And George throwing one in as well. Good performance. 2 11s in each half, as Phil obviously said early doors. I think from over the 90 minutes, Ryan Longman impressed, Ryan Hardy impressed. It's good to see Danny Ward back in a Wrexham shirt. Did okay. But the one that really did stick out for me was Harry Ashfield. Fantastic performance again from that young man. I really do hope we see good things from him, because he just plays the game with a big smile on his face, no fear. And he did very well. But 3-0 is a good win. Happy days all round. 21s beat FC Halifax 2-3 apparently. I haven't seen the report yet. I'll catch up on that, maybe touch on it in the next one. The club shop opened, of course, Thursday evening. Very busy, as you'd expect. I'll go and have a look around that when all the Ferraris die down a bit. But all the photographs I've seen, it does really look an impressive setup. So more on that one later. And then we saw the head of academy, Andy Lowe, step down for personal reasons. Now, all the time he was at the club when I was there, I never spoke to him. I never had need to speak to him, so I can't speak as a find on it. I can only go on what I've been told by various parents and kids at various levels in the academy, and they didn't like him. Didn't like his opinion, didn't like his methods, and he was just not a nice person, not in my opinion. That's only what I've just been told, so I can't speak as a fan. So let's move on. Wrexham AFC and Me. Why Wrexham AFC and Me is a question you may well ask. It all began the journey. Do we like the J word? Not really. Most Wrexham fans will instantly recognise. We'll go back in time to where shirts were cotton and heavy. You only got one substitute, and the crowd could swap ends at half time. Where did it begin? Season 69-70. There was a little wall at the back of behind the goal on the Kop end. All those small kids used to just get thrown on there. Health and safety gone mad, really. But that's what happened. Never got hit by a ball. Maybe I was lucky. But yeah, that's where we sat. And I remember going home in the car. Why does that goalkeeper Dave Gaskell lean to the right when he kicks the ball? At 8 and 9, you don't work out that he's following the flight of the ball. Okay, that was that one. And the singing. What's all that singing going? What's all that about? Some of the chants were a little bit colourful, as you can well imagine. Away player goes down, and they start singing, "Let him die, let him die." And I said, "Is he going to die? Is he going to die?" No, don't be down. No, you're not. It's fine. And then that was normally followed up by "You're going home" and the Wrexham ambulance. Now, did the Wrexham ambulance really take him home? They'd come from wherever. Can't see an ambulance taking him home. No, they don't do that. They don't do that. And that 5 there, is it Eddie May? How'd you get to be that big? Anybody who knows me knows I'm very diminutive. So when you're 8 years old and you're looking up at somebody the size of Eddie, 6 foot, who knows what, and built like a brick outhouse. God, he's a big fella. fantastic player, captain, did loads for the club. Yeah, I was very taken by the size of him and others as well. So that was me, hooked. We'll move forward a little to 72, 73. The first PA announcer that we can find out about was a chap from Gwersyth, small village outside Wrexham, for those none in the locale, who was a professional singer, a guy called Colin Holt, who was a good friend to the previously mentioned Charles Roberts. He was the first PA man. Very, very good singer, Colin, and he worked with my dad, who was also a semi-professional musician, on many occasions. He rang my dad and said, "Hey Des, I've had the chance of a lifetime. Just had my agent on the phone for 2 hours telling me all about it. Offered me a chance to go on the ships. I've got to do it. If I don't do it, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But I need you to cover the racecourse for me." "I can do that, no problem at all. Meet me on Saturday at the ground and show me who's who and what's what. I can cover that for you." It was no great surprise that Colin went down a storm. Des stayed in place and became the voice of the racecourse for the next 30 years before retiring. Most of it down to ill health. So I'm now on the inside, if you like, my first real inside job at the football club. Now the club offices were in the old Mill Road, the old wooden stands. And during match days, the phone used to be put through to this PA box. So this was the link from the outside into the club. What's the score? Who scored? Various questions like that. But also other messages. So I had to take the message from the box into the office. Back into taking messages. Most of the game really, but there we are. This thing was no bigger than a small garden shed. 2 adults, my dad and his mate Ken, drummer, very good drummer, and me, back into chasing all these messages. It was just in front of the gym. Now, if you look at a very old photo of the racecourse tech end, there's a white building that sticks out. There's a little shed on some of them. That's where we operated from. That was the place to be. And the PA system, now people think it's bad now, it was installed by a guy in Wrexham called Sid Jones. He was your man for sound systems and things. I think there was 2 horns in each corner. So you didn't have the systems within the amplifiers you have now. So the furthest away got the message from the amplifier last. So the message went round the stadium in a loop. It was the weirdest thing you ever heard. If you were in the earshot of 2, you hear it in one ear, then you hear it in the other ear. Split second later, it was bizarre. If you were in one place and stayed there, that was fine. You got it right. But such was the early PA systems, and it was the same everywhere. So that was my integration onto the inside. Moving on a bit now, 75-76 season. I'm now one of the ball boys, promotion. Dotted round the ground in those infamous yellow and blue tracksuits with Kirby's for Ford emblazoned all over the back. Now, for those of you not from Wrexham, Kirby's for Ford were the Ford car dealers in Wrexham, but they were there for donkey's years until they got swallowed up by one of these conglomerates. But these things were heavy as hell, these old-fashioned tracksuits, and if it rained and it got wet, I'm sure their weight multiplied tenfold. You could barely move in them. But the other thing that we had, if there was a colour clash in yellow and blue colours, and we had nylon white boiler suits, which we had to use. Now that could be put it on, put the tracksuit over the top, over the bottom. Anyway, you can work out the permutations. So in a very hot tracksuit, you can see where we're going in the summer. Anyway, in that 75-76 season, we're in the third. Now we're playing Brighton and Hove Albion, Crystal Palace. Where do we find them now? In the Premier League. We're playing Preston, Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday. At the time, the old second division. That's where they ended up in the Championship. Strangely enough, Gillingham, Swindon, Peterborough and Shrewsbury stayed where they were, more or less. So funny how times change for various clubs. In 1976-77, well, everybody decided this was going to be the season. This was going to be it. Division 2, here we come. No problem at all. After the start we had, everybody was, well, we've got it nailed on. Chesterfield away, 6-0. Shrewsbury came to the racecourse, 1-0 home win. Thank you very much. This was the way it went. We were beating everybody. We even had the mummy and daddy of all Christmas presents beating Chester 4-2 at home, thanks to a Graham Whittle hat-trick. Now, just to put a little bit on that one, back in the day, you played your local teams on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. So we had Chester either home and away or away and home most times. But there we go. So we were flying high, but our season was interjected by having to play games in the European Cup Winners' Cup, which we'd won previous. Now I'll go into the ins and outs of the politics and everything else around the Welsh Cup in another one, otherwise I'll be here for hours. But anyway, we played the Djurgården in Sweden over 2 legs, beating them 3-2. And then we played Stal Rzeszów, beat them 3-1 over 2 legs. So we're now in the quarterfinals of the European Cup Winners' Cup. This is Little Wrexham, team from North Wales. Who do we get in the quarterfinals of this very prestigious competition but the mighty Anderlecht of Belgium? Away first. Everybody's predicting we're going to get battered, and we came away with a 1-0 narrow defeat, which everybody would have taken all day long. Possibly one of the best away performances so far in my time. Back to the racecourse for the second leg. Now, I was very fortunate being a ball boy because I could get my autograph book into the away dressing room for most games. Now, obviously the security around the Cup Winners' Cup was an entirely different thing. It was run by UEFA and FIFA and everything else. But somehow my autograph book ended up in Anderlecht's dressing room. To get it back and to see Harry Hahn, Robbie Rensenbrink and all these other world-class players playing at our club on our pitch and in my autograph book as well was just mind-blowing. Downside of it, do I have it now? No. I don't know where it went. But how I wish I did have it. It would have been, there's some very, very good names in there. Bill Shankly was another one in it. Now, as you know, I'm a Liverpool person as well, so there we go. So it's 1-0 in Belgium. We come back to the second leg. The racecourse is heaving. I'm in my usual spec, which was Wrexham Lager Stand, Town End, if you like, Cop End. Always found myself there. And we sat running up and down, picking balls, stepping, thinking, this goalkeeper's unbelievable. It was like he had 5 arms and 14. Like, he stopped everything. Nothing went past him at all. He was unreal. He had the game of his life. He just stopped everything. But second half, we're attacking the tack end. Stuart Lee, regular goal scorer, not overly prolific, but scored some very vital goals for us. Stuart, good player. He gave us hope. Scoring on the 61st minute, the place went mad. After that, the atmosphere was just fantastic. But we only needed one more. That's all we need. But then realisation that we actually needed 2 because they've got the away goal. So anyway, it counted for nothing. As on the 77th minute, the aforementioned Robbie Rensenbrink, Dutch international, he scored a cracker. So that was it. Our foray into the European Cup Winners' Cup was over, but there was more. So back to concentrating on the league. Now, during the season, we'd gone the whole season unbeaten at home. That's how well we were doing. What could go wrong? There was 4 matches left between us and the promised land of League Division 2, which is now the Championship, where we are now, of course. So, what did we need? 3 points, 4 games to do it. What could go wrong? Off to Selhurst Park to play Palace. 2-1 defeat. Then we've got to bear in mind here, Palace are the only ones that could beat us. And we have to play them twice in succession because of the games being cancelled for the European Cup. Never mind, not a problem. It's on to Oxford United, down to the Manor Ground. Picked up a good point there. 2-2 draw. Next at home, Crystal Palace. Right, we need 2 points. Beat Palace, we're up. Simple as that. We're not far into this game and Palace are 2 up. We're in trouble. We are in big trouble. But cue Bobby Shinton, 2-1. Oh, we're on to something. John Lyons, God bless him. Rest in eternal peace, John Lyons from Buckley. He came up 2-2. Right, we're on a point as it stands. We just need somebody to score, and we're in, we're home, we're dry. They put a sub on called Swindlehurst. Scored 2 in 2 minutes. That was the game. That was it, done. There were 6 of us ball boys. I distinctly remember all of us just at the same time just sat on the turf, just in disbelief, couldn't believe what we'd seen. Heartbreak. And with the points that Palace took, that was our season over. Finished the season at Mansfield, got beat there 1-0. So there we go. That was the season over. But in my humble opinion, the next season brought the finest side I think I've seen in my lifetime of watching Wrexham AFC. But that's a video for another day. I don't want to overload on this, otherwise it just turns into a meandrous ramble. So I'll record the other one probably through the week and put it up on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, have what remains of a fantastic weekend. Have a good week back in work. Not looking forward to it. If the temperatures stay as they are, we work in a right sweat box. It's not been pleasant at all this week, but hey, there we go, it pays the bills. So I'll wind up on this one. Have a good week next week. If there's a bit of news, we'll throw that in as well. But in the meantime, I'll see you later.